Washington, D.C. has been abject failures at securing our border. I've always thought the military was one of the great things that our federal government was supposed to do, and they do. Three things I've always thought that the federal government is supposed to be really good at: standing a military, delivering our mail on time, and securing our border. Well, we do one of those. And securing our border has been the most frustrating thing that I've dealt with in Washington, D.C. And this isn't just with this current administration. This goes back for some years, almost my entire time as governor. A great frustration that Washington does not either respect or care about what goes on that Texas-Mexico border. For that matter, the border with Mexico from California to Texas. We have focused on it from the standpoint of putting additional resources. Sadly, we're doing the federal government's job from the standpoint of keeping that border secure. So whether it's Ranger recon teams, we've surged into areas and we've seen good results, but the fact is it's a federal responsibility. So the federal government must send us more boots on the ground. I've got 1,000 National Guard troops that we've asked for. Use Predator drones to practice and fly up and down the border to use that information to help us continue. Technology is so important to being able to have a virtual wall, if you will, a virtual fence to help keep out those illegal activities, the drug cartels, the transnational gangs that are using that border as an operating position. The concept of sanctuary cities is I think a very heinous concept from the standpoint of basically saying we're going to allow this city to not respect the laws of this country. So people who have not been supportive of sanctuary cities, I think they've got a lot of explaining to do to the people of the state of Texas from that perspective. So continuing to put the pressure on Washington to secure our border, because if you've got to have border security before you can have national security, and you can't have immigration policy debate until you put that secure border in place.
Under our Constitution, a sacred document, the federal government has the principal responsibility, for securing our borders, defining the laws of our citizenship, and the fact of the matter is the federal government has let us down in this critical function. We have right now a shadow economy, policies that aren't based on the reality out there, and as a result, gang members and human traffickers and narco traffickers are able basically to hide in the shadows of the economy of many people who've worked and paid taxes, even though they've outlasted their visa or they've gotten here without proper documentation. Now, I don't think the state government, just like the federal government, should go around giving a lot of mandates to employers. I think what employers should do to comply with federal law should be up to federal agencies. It's not up to state governments under our Constitution. But I don't believe Texas should be a sanctuary state or that we should have sanctuary cities. Certainly Houston is not a sanctuary city, and I'll tell you why I know that for a fact. Because every week and every day we have police officers who are arresting people who are non-citizens for violating our criminal laws. We are used as a model with ICE of how local law enforcement can work with ICE on raids on gangs and drug dealers and some of the international gangs that we have to put up with in this country. There's a lot of myths about this, but I want the citizens of Texas to know that throughout this state, in every community except I think one small city north of Dallas, the police, the law enforcement officers who are good people in this state are working hard every day to respond to the calls of the citizens and to investigate crime, and they are understaffed and there is more work to be done. We don't want to take them off that work to do immigration raids that the federal government should be doing, because that means it'll take longer for somebody to respond to the call to a citizen. there will be less burglaries and robberies and homicides being investigated. We need to concentrate our local law enforcement on crimes. That doesn't mean we're a sanctuary state. That means that we're using our law enforcement effectively.